Nice bow. As if people can't see me anyway.
They did pretty good considering they only had 2 rehearsals together.
I think it's too loud of your group. I can hear you. I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
Thought I was going to have to get a teacher up here to know how to do that, because I don't. Welcome everybody to our regular meeting for the month of December. Appreciate everybody being here. We got a full house tonight. As we typically do, we start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight we've got a group of outstanding students from Hewitt Elementary and the principal, Christy Watley. Christy, the floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, President Rustick, Dr. Allen, and members of the board. Hewitt Elementary offers a variety of clubs, opportunities for our current 4th and 5th graders. This year, the Hewitt Media Team is celebrating their 5th anniversary. The Hewitt Media Team was created in 2018 to offer our 4th graders and now our current 5th graders an opportunity to be in the spotlight. So under the guidance of Mr. Frederick Herrera, our dyslexia specialist, and Mrs. Mara Zamora, our resource instructional assistant, the Hewitt Media Team prepares and produces and presents our Good Morning Hewitt morning announcements, and it's live. As part of the Hewitt Media Team, our 5th graders acquire many essential skills such as teamwork, creative thinking, problem solving, leadership, and real-world experience. Not to mention a little fame with the younger students when they say, "Hey, I saw you on TV." So check us out on YouTube and research or search for Good Morning Hewitt if you want to see them. So I'm pleased to announce to you our 2023-2024 Hewitt Media Team. We have Brooklyn Brown as our anchor. Zion Davidson, he's a producer. Lainey Lieber, our technician. Milan Frazier, our anchor. Reagan Taylor, our anchor. And Kensler Wright, our technician. And of course, our 2 sponsors. This morning. Thank you. Go ahead and turn around. You'll go ahead and stand, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then next up we have recognition, and Dr. Allen, you're up first with me, and Ms. Vick is then going to announce the recognitions as we go.
Yes, sir, and while you're transitioning to that spot, I'm going to read the district mission statement. So, our mission is that the Midway ISD will maximize individual potential within a learner-centered and supportive environment to prepare students to excel in a global society. And one of the great things these recognitions do is highlight the ways in which that's happening in our classrooms, our schools, and frankly, with the support of our community throughout the entire day. So we're really excited to share some things with you. And with that, I'm going to transition over to the lectern.
So first up is going to be Dr. Allen, and he's going to do December Awareness Days.
So in December, we have 2 days that we recognize across the district. December the 2nd is National Special Education Day, and so you might have seen a lot of activities on campuses associated with that. And then December 4 was Computer Science Education Day. That tends to garner a lot of attention these days, so that was exciting. With that, I'm also going to recognize our all-state orchestra students. And so I'm going to transition here briefly. When I call your name, if you'd please come to the front and receive a certificate from Mr. Russick, and then stay standing. We're going to get a group photo at the end. 3 violinists from Midway High School are recipients of the highest honor for music students in Texas. Senior Alana Schubert. There she is. Junior Esther Kim. And freshman Glenn Eschlam have been selected as members of the 2024 TMEA All-State Orchestra. Glenn couldn't be with us this evening. He kind of fell under the weather during the day, so you two are going to hold up the banner for the group, okay? Could we also have Dr. Bo Benson join this group? Dr. Benson's our orchestra director. The rigorous all-state audition process began earlier this fall with over 70,000 high school students from across the state, and these three are among the top 2.6% of students named all-state musicians. Achieving this honor demonstrates exceptional dedication and commitment, and on top of that, this also marks Alana's fourth and Esther's second consecutive year to earn all-state orchestra honors.
Wow.
Well done.
Okay, Dr. Allen, the next thing on the agenda is a holiday card artist.
Indeed, this is fun. Each December, Midway ISD showcases the work of student artists on the district's holiday cards. And tonight, we get to recognize the artist whose work is featured on this year's card. Students, when I call your name, please come to the front and get your certificate, and I'm going to ask you to stay up here, and we'll get a big group photo. Where's Miss Marlin? Right? Come up and stay up. And, all right, so when I call your name, come on up. From Castleman Creek Elementary School, second graders Christopher Clancy. There's Christopher. Zoe Diaz. And Kinsley Johnson. From Hewitt Elementary School, we have fourth graders Savannah Booker, Camille Hernandez, Sadie Hernandez, Aubrey Stout, and Kirk Sultan. And then we also have our fifth graders Morgan Brooker, Amelia Dobbs, and Lauren Lyles. Designing artwork for the annual holiday card is a volunteer commitment from Midway art teachers and their students. We'd also like to extend special thanks to Katie Sheehy at Castleman Creek and Michelle Bell at Hewitt Elementary. Please join your students up front. We want to get you on the photo. There we go.
And y'all, the card is really cute. Pete is holding it, and so they drew owls, and then we all got to pick which owl we thought was us. And so our names are under there. It's just adorable. They did a great job. Okay, thank you, Dr. Allen. Next up, we have Dr. Knutson, and she is going to do the Extra Mile Award.
Thank you so much. Tonight, I have the great privilege of presenting the Midway Extra Mile Award to one of our staff members who has gone above and beyond in her service to students. Lindsay Benning, would you please come up to the front? So the awkward part, you get to stand up here while we talk all about you. Lindsay is our high school dance director for our goaltenders. But let me tell you what else she has done. She is looking for opportunities for students to explore the art of dance, and we have more opportunities than ever because of her creative mind and willingness to make this happen. She's really been working to expand the range of dance classes that are available to our high school students. She's only halfway through her second year back at Midway. She has already found a new spirit team, the Panther Pom Squad. She has brought dance electives to the high school, and she started this year the Partners Dance class for our special education students. She puts considerable time and effort into all of her investment in making sure these opportunities come to fruition for our students, and is being honored tonight with this Extra Mile Award because of that dedication and building a dance program that really creates a space for all of our students from every skill level. And just your willingness to take on those responsibilities in a volunteer capacity, because you're not getting any more time or effort to do it, and you're doing it all and fitting it in. while juggling with family. So we are really proud of you, Lindsay, and so excited to have you on staff creating pathways for our students that can stay active in our fine arts program.
That's just amazing. I love all the new classes. Okay, next we have Dr. Sapp, and he is, sorry about that, I have not met Dr. Sapp, is going to do the National Board Certified Teachers.
All right, welcome. And I have Kathleen Minshew with me also. Come on up. So Midway ISD's numbers of National Board Certified Teachers is on the rise. Tonight, we are recognizing 8 additional teachers who have received their certification this month, just found out a week ago, 2 weeks ago, bringing our district's total of National Board Certified Teachers to 13. The following Midway teachers join the ranks of only 3% of teachers nationwide and less than 1%, about a third of 1% in Texas. So this is a big deal to achieve National Board Certification. It's the highest credential available in the teaching profession, and it's a lot of work. So we are here to recognize the hard work of Vanessa Dulock. Come on up. And Annie Jones. And then Susan Jones. Then Kristen Kegley. Ben Kosarik. Nancy Patel. Molly Sanders. And Valerie Taylor. So just a little bit about that. The National Board process can span multiple years. Some people have been working on it 2 or 3 years to get this. And Midway started the first internally led cohort in the state of Texas to support our National Board candidates. Kathleen Minshew and I have the pleasure of leading that cohort, along with several mentors that are also here with us that are all National Board certified teachers. So I'd like them to come forward as well. Our mentors, come on forward and maybe stand in behind our current certified teachers. So give these guys a hand too. So we are incredibly proud of all of our National Board teachers, and they represent the cream of the crop, best of the best.
There you go, awesome. That's amazing. Way to go, Wendy. We have them all. Wow. I want to commend our staff and administration for encouraging the staff, the teachers, to get the national certification. Okay, up next is Dr. Odejima. Where is she? Oh, she's right there, sorry. I looked the wrong. She is going to do the U.S. News and World Report elementary and middle school rankings.
Thank you so much. Earlier this fall, we recognized Midway High School as U.S. News and World Report with their ranking. And tonight we get to honor our middle school and elementary campuses who were also honored by this ranking for 2024. South Bosque Elementary, come on up, is ranked number 1 in Midway Elementary Schools and is in the top 1.2% of the state at number 77 out of nearly 6,500 elementary schools ranked in Texas, including private, charter, and magnet schools. So congratulations to the South Bosque staff and Principal Sherry Burns. Also earning top rankings this year, Midway Middle School is in the top 6%. Come on up. Top 6%. Statewide out of 4,000 public, private, and charter magnet middle schools in Texas. So congratulations to Midway Middle School staff and Principal Jay Fisher. These rankings consider both student proficiency in math and reading, state assessments, along with socioeconomic demographics. So simply put, top-ranked schools are high-achieving and succeed in educating all of our students. Congratulations.
Ms. Futris, you want to talk about the Midway Education Foundation grants?
It would be my pleasure. And I have Jennifer Getterman here this evening with me. She is a director on our Midway Education Foundation board and also our grant chair. We will ask all these honorees and recipients of our Grants for Great Ideas. Our Grants for Great Ideas are awarded twice a year. There are large grants, and these are our fall recipients. So we'll ask you to come forward and for a group photo. So first up, we have Let's Get Coding. These are Ozo Evo robots, written by Stacy Morgan for Spring Valley Elementary and named in honor of the Nance family. We have Cool Calming Corners, Supplies and Tools for Calming Space by Carly Gleim and Kendall Jarrett of Woodway Elementary, named in honor of Educators Credit Union. We have Swivel Sparks, Igniting Teaching Excellence with Video, which is virtual teaching equipment, written by Sarah Collins for Midway High School, Midway Middle School, River Valley Middle School, named in honor of the Sanders family. And I know Sarah had a big team that she wrote this with. I don't have all those other names, but Sarah was the primary writer of that grant. And then we also have Boogieing Our Way Through First Grade. These are writing tablets, and this grant was written by Amanda Stewart and Ashley Leatham of Woodway Elementary, named in honor of Astound Broadband. We've Got the Beat. This was a fitness cardio drumming program written by Lauren Turnbow and Danelle Smith of Spiegelville Elementary, named in honor of Lone Star Truck Group. We have A Leap Forward in Science Education. These are 3D frog models written by Angela Wilson, Janiyah Davis, David Gaines, and Adam Miller of River Valley Middle School, named in honor of Doctors Jake and Sue Battle. We have Meaningful Movement, Learning Through Movement and Mats, written by Principal Mandy Bronstad of Spiegelville Elementary, named in honor of the Midway Education Foundation. Chapters on Demand is a book vending machine written by Abby Neal and Kristen Holland for Hewitt Elementary, named in honor of First National Bank of Central Texas. The Golden Token is a book vending machine written by Wendy Cromie of Woodway Elementary, named in honor of Genco Federal Credit Union. Snack on a Good Book is a book vending machine written by Tiffany Guy of Spiegelville Elementary, named in honor of Walmart Distribution Center. We have a multi-sensory room, which is calming room supplies and tools, written by Michelle Ariola of Chapel Park Elementary, named in honor of Sammy and Delonda Citrano. And we have our courtyard classroom, which is tools and equipments for the ADC outdoor space, written by Caitlin Seeley of Midway Middle School, named in honor of Specialty Restoration. Round of applause. This was granted to 19 teachers across 8 campuses and a total of about $47,000 in grants. So congratulations to all of you and everything you do for your students.
Thank you, Ashley. Normally, this is where I say something about you're welcome to stay. Oh, you got one more? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I know. It's a lot tonight.
It doesn't.
Go ahead.
It is our privilege to honor one of our outstanding community partners this evening. We have Molly Rieger here with Central National Bank. And
Trying to catch everybody to the left.
Midway Education Foundation is honored to recognize Central National Bank and Vice President Molly Rieger for over 17 years of support of the Midway Education Foundation. Central National Bank has given over $100,000 to the Education Foundation during these 17 years and has had 16 grants named in their honor. Most recently, Crystal Moose's high school chemistry grant, Getting Hands-On with Water Without Getting Wet, which allows students to see how water's structure allows it to stick to itself, become separated, evaporate, and dissolve through the use of 3D molecular designs. And this fall, Kyle Rogers and David Wellbaum's grant, Cinematic Impact, that has allowed the advanced AV students at the high school purchase professional-grade filmmaking equipment that will take the AV and theater programs into new territory of filmmaking. Molly is a Midway High School class of 1998 alum and has served on the Education Foundation Board of Directors and Executive Committee since 2020. Molly is also involved in the Midway High School PTA. She has a daughter, Madeline, who is a senior at Midway High School, and son, Caleb, who is a freshman at Midway High School. Thank you to Molly and Central National Bank for your faithful support.
Now, thank you, Ashley. And my apologies to Molly and Central National Bank. I was trying to move an agenda item before folks left because we had a special request. Some guy, superintendent, I think, wants to have his communications done now. So, Dr. Allen, the floor is yours.
I have been told that when we get through with recognitions, that it's very likely Ms. Marlin will be leaving our meeting this evening. Since 2010, Tracy has spent her time putting the spotlight on other people. And while doing so, doing her very best to make them look good. It's not always easy. After my first day in the district of visiting the campuses, we ended the day, she said, "We have no footage of you we can use. You didn't smile enough." On day 2, I smiled. So, in addition to that, Tracy has done a fantastic job of educating our community. Not just about the regular everyday events that are going on in our school so that our parents and students are consistently informed about the things that they are interested in, but about tough topics such as bonds, invaders, and at times crisis communications about things that have happened in the district. She has been the person that is the voice behind the communications in the district. And she's always done it from either behind a computer screen or behind a camera. And I said the other day that if I had to sum up Tracy on one word, it might be mother. Because she is a fantastic mother to her kids. And her husband Dan's a swim coach for us, and they've made contributions to this district that we're never going to be able to quantify. But she also kind of mothers the district at large. She cares deeply about the district and about the success of the district, and makes sure that she does everything she can to fight for what's best for these kids. She does it with the brain of a scientist and the heart of a saint. She's extraordinarily analytical, very strategic, and can move through a spreadsheet with the wizardry of Spider-Man throughout New York City. So you don't say that kind of thing about people unless they're leaving. And she is. This is her last board meeting with us, and her last day in the district is January the 8th. And so I wanted to make sure before she left that I took a moment to acknowledge that and create an opportunity for the board to make any comments that they may want to make. That's the only superintendent communications I plan on having this evening.
I'll open the floor up to the board.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Tracy, for all these years. You were amazing. You made everything fun, and you engaged us and told us what to do, which helped. And you put together great portfolios, help us get nominated as, School Board of the Year for our region and go forward. And you're awesome. You're energetic and positive and always looking at the things that are happening tomorrow and in the best way. So you're going to be greatly missed. So, thank you.
Are we just going down the line?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've heard it said that the best leaders are those with thick skins and tender hearts. And I don't know how you've done it all in the last decade without all of that. And I've also heard a wise friend once say that if they've done their job well, then whoever comes in after them will only succeed even further. The legacy that you have established, the level of excellence you have brought us to are just phenomenal. We're going to miss you on this team, in this room, and all of the stuff. I'm really glad you're going to get to spend more time with your kids and family. And even though you're not on staff, you're still our friend, and we love you and want to just expect to see great things. And we'll keep bugging Dan on your behalf. So, best of luck. We love you.
I just want to say that I've only been on the board for a short time, but I've known Tracy for a little while, and I echo everything that Pam and Susan said. Tracy is phenomenal, and all I'll say is I do not envy the person that comes in after her because she has left some very big shoes to fill, and she will be greatly missed. But like Pam, I'm thrilled that she can spend some more time with her family because I know how important that is to her because of the reasons that Dr. Allen said. So, congratulations.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to say that I, have gotten to know you pretty well the last couple of years. Had a chance to work with you on some things, which has been fantastic. And as a marketing communications person myself, having worked at Baylor in education in that area, I know what a difficult job that can be sometimes, and you have handled it amazingly well. I've been impressed not just with the quality of work that you and your staff do, but the way that you do it and your commitment. And yeah, way to set the bar really high. And I will say this, I know you're still living here in Midway, so the next time we have a bond election, we count on you to vote for it. I don't think we have to convince you about why. Yeah, I think you kind of understand, so yeah.
I've known Tracy through several different things, through swim, and we built their house. She's still my friend, I think. So anyway, I just have always appreciated your professionalism and your job and what you mean to this district, and yeah, we'll sorely miss you.
And Dr. Allen ticked off some things that large mountains to climb. He left one off, which to me, I don't know what you thought was one of the most, if not the most challenging thing you've done while you were here. But to me, it was, not just for you, but for the district, it's incredibly challenging, redrawing attendance boundaries. And you did an outstanding job with all of that and the presentations to the board, and but that's just typical of what you did across the board, and thank you. We will miss you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's like, I'm calling this my mid-retirement because I'm not all the way retired, but midway.
Aww.
It never is.
It's only a communicator could do.
Yeah, she
I love this place. We're going to be around. Be a volunteer, taxpayer, voter, all things.
Voter. Voter.
Yeah.
She can be a pack leader, can't she now?
Yeah, she can.
Okay.
So now we're at that point in the meeting where, for those of you who have something else to do this evening, Miss Marlin, we'll let you go do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
You want to get in the picture?
Yeah.
Photo bomb?
She's gonna run and jump.
Over the years, it's been amazing how much her position affects everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that until I was.
We're firing Huckabee.
You what?
Yeah, no more.
I said an unrelated news, we're firing Huckabee.
Yeah.
Hiring a couple people.
Firing them.
Oh, God.
Off with their head.
When there's background noise, I can't hear very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Page is our next day. I didn't put that in the agenda somewhere.
The second page, we're good.
We're gonna skip all that, so.
Okay, so next we've got information items, policy update 122, our local on admissions and intra-district transfers, and then our new course. Does any board member have any questions about any of those? Any discussion to be had on the information items? If not, then we'll go to the presentation and discussion items, the first of which is our annual audit report. And you weren't here last year, Chris.
I don't think I was.
No, I know you weren't.
COVID, I believe.
That was what they said, but I figured you just had a better date.
Yeah, I actually recently had another run with it. So
Wow.
yeah,
Well, we're glad you're here.
and I'm glad to be here. So, tell people I'm an auditor, and I'll clear a room out. So, first of all, I'd like to thank the board for giving us the opportunity to serve as your auditors again, and I'd also like to thank Wesley and his staff for giving us the opportunity to, or for all of his assistance during the audit. It went well. You should have a copy of the report, a copy of a letter, and what I'd like to do is briefly go over it, touch on a few things, and answer any questions that you might have. So, in regards to the report, on page 2, you will see our independent auditor's report. In the second paragraph, you'll find our opinion. You received an unmodified opinion. It's also referred to as a clean opinion. What that means is that these financials can be relied upon by a third party. It's the highest opinion that we can give. The management discussion and analysis is on page 5. Excuse me. Wesley puts this together. We check it. I always refer to this as the Cliff Notes of the report. It's a great place to go, read a few pages, gain an understanding of what occurred during the year without actually having to analyze the financial statements themselves. In regards to the financials, on page 13, the question I always get, the first question is, how are we doing? A good indicator of that would be your unassigned fund balance in your general fund. First column, third number from the bottom, 21.6 million. This represents around a quarter, 3 months. It's about where you would want that fund balance to be. It's considered very healthy, and it's a solid number. In regards to the activity, on page 16 in the general fund, third number from the bottom, net change in fund balance, you'll see a $199,000 loss for the year. It's actually less than what you anticipated having for the year. And out of an $82.7 million budget, as far as an auditor goes, that's a zero number, so you were kind of flat for the year. The notes to the financials begin on page 24. Like the MD&A, it's in a written format. They're designed to expand upon the financials and provide additional information. You'll find notes on your accounting policies, most of your balance sheet items, such as cash, capital assets, debt, and retirement as well. On page 44, I would like to point out your general fund budget. That's the second question I always get. How did we do in regards to our budget? You did receive $2.7 million more than you anticipated for the year in your revenues. And on the expenditure side, you spent $449,000 less than you anticipated. So all in all, your budget was in the black, $3.1 million. So you came out $3.1 million better than you anticipated. The last part of the report that I feel the need to go over with you is the single audit. You received more than $750,000 of federal funding, so you're required to have what we call a single audit. And this is a process by which we go in and identify your large grant and high-risk grant programs. And then we do additional test work above and beyond what we're normally required to do in an audit. There are 2 letters that I have to issue in conjunction with that process. The first one's on page 67. This is a government auditing standards letter, also referred to as a yellow book report. But what it is we are commenting on your internal controls over financial reporting and also compliance with various laws, grants, and regulations. I'm happy to say that you have no findings for that. Now, what does that mean in layman's terms? These are the things that you normally think of when you think of an audit. We're looking at your computer passwords, we're looking at your controls over your capital assets and computers, controls over cash, district-wide. And I'm happy to say that nothing came up that we feel could cause a misstatement of those financials. The second letter is on page 69. It's very similar in that we're talking about internal controls and compliance, but this time it's with the grants that we did the additional test work on. Those grants are your child nutrition cluster and your ESSER grants, your COVID grants. Happy to say nothing came up that would lead us to believe that you were out of compliance with those grants. Okay, last thing is the letter. There are certain things I have to go over with you as your auditor by my professional standards. I've just chosen to put it into a letter rather than verbally going over it all. You will find things on our responsibility, your responsibility, compliance with independence and ethics, whether or not we had any disagreements with management, which I'm happy to say that we didn't. So again, it's a standard letter. There's really nothing in it that I would really feel like I need to draw your attention to. So I guess the takeaways are, district's in good financial shape. For the year, you ended around 0, but better off than your budget. Your finance department's very strong, and I feel that the district's in good shape. Does anybody have any questions over either document or the audit process in general? What we do, what we don't do. It went well. Could have led with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Appreciate your work.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure. I'm an alumni many years ago. And I'm also a father of 2 Panthers, so it's always fun to work with the district.
Thank you, Chris. This is on the consent agenda, so anything we want to talk about, now's the time, folks. If not, appreciate you being here, Chris.
I just commend Wesley and our finance staff, always doing such a great job.
Absolutely.
Watching our pennies and our dimes and our dollars.
That was one heck of a bake sale you put on, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
A lot of t-shirts.
Okay, with that, you are up next, Mr. Brooks.
Okay,
Monthly
members, good evening. We'll take a look at our monthly financial report. I would like to thank Mr. Pruitt and Patilla Brown for doing the audit for us, and also Cindy Pointer. She does most of the heavy lifting and getting our books closed and the annual report ready for the audit to occur. So we definitely appreciate that. If you'll look at page 4 of the financial report, take a look at our enrollment. You'll see there on the average daily attendance chart there on the right, we budgeted 8,260 for average daily attendance. We're projecting at just about exactly that amount, 8,264. This is only through the first 2 6 weeks data. Once we get our third 6 weeks, of course, we'll continue to update those numbers. And really that third number down, the WADA, is really the big determinant on our state funding. And so you can see we budgeted $10,710. We're projecting $10,845. And most of that difference, some of that is the special ed weighted funding is higher than we budgeted. And also our compensatory ed funding down toward, I guess, about 6 number from the bottom, compensatory ed. We're projecting 3,095, where we budgeted 2,812. That's based on the census block data that we get from the government. We just have a higher number of students in some of those lower socioeconomic areas of the district. So that'll affect our funding. In February, I'll start to kind of quantify what these numbers look like as we've at least gotten 3 6 weeks worth of data behind us. On our enrollment, the district enrollment at the 1st of December on page 8 of the report, you can see total enrollment is 8,804, 89 students more than last year at this time. It is a little interesting. We did have a drop from November 1st, from last month, about 30 students, which is really kind of atypical. Usually we don't see that much change during the year, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. But also the attendance percentage. So our ADA is a product of our enrollment and attendance percentage, obviously, and so we really do keep an eye on that. So even if we dropped in enrollment a little bit, that attendance percentage can really compensate for that. And so on the next page, you can see at the bottom our attendance percentage for the second 6 weeks was 96.4%, which was really high, over 1% higher than the second 6 weeks from last year. So hopefully the third 6 weeks will continue that trend for good attendance percentage.
Looks like a lot of the drop-off is in the elementary grades.
Yeah.
Do we know, is it particular campuses or particular areas or grade levels or
Yeah, did
pre-K or
did
what is
sickness
it?
go around? What was?
I don't know. It was kind of spread around. I think the drop-in system. I mean, high school, we typically, they graduate early and you kind of lose some
That
throughout
number
the
was
year.
down
But,
just a little bit, and middle school was
right, but
flat.
the elementary, that is
Yeah,
a little,
mainly
it's
elementary.
a little odd. I'm not exactly sure why.
Hmm.
We do have 3 budget amendments in the consent agenda. 24-6 is to provide funds for the employee retention incentive payment. And as a reminder, the funding for that is coming from a couple different sources. We did have the refund from the unreimbursed medical accounts that comes back to the district of $145,000. Also, we got a purchasing rebate from our buy board purchasing cooperative. Just based on last year's purchases made through the co-op, we got a rebate of $60,000. And the remaining $95,000 of the amendment will come from fund balance. Budget Amendment 24-7 is to repair the main gate valve at the high school. Had another water leak, unfortunately. And then Budget Amendment 24-8 is to reallocate budgeted special ed funds to provide for some contracted services. They're kind of pulling some budgeted funds from different accounts and putting into contracted services to kind of help some of their staffing shortage issues in some areas. And then finally, the last page of the report you can see is kind of a summary of our bond excess funds. So the second number from the bottom, projected total excess bond funds, it's kind of a moving number there, but we have about $6,679,000 we're projecting to have over and above what we have in the scope of our bond projects. And we've already dedicated about 3.6. You can see those items listed to the playgrounds, track resurfacing, and last month that was presented as safety security upgrades. And so the elementary playgrounds we're finishing up. I think we should be finished around Christmas time. Is that right, Mr. Hill?
Maybe a week or two in the new year.
Week or two in the year.
Yeah,
And those seem to be going well. And so we'll see. We may come in a little under on that one. We do have the track number. We're about at budget there, $161,000. And the safety security upgrades, we do feel like that's a pretty generous number. We hope to kind of come under a little bit on that. And so, but assuming we spend all of those budgeted funds, we would still have a little over $3 million left. You can see that bottom number there in our bond funds after those projects have been completed.
Wesley, is that the high school track that's
Yes.
being resurfaced? Well, good. We have some more money we get to spend. Projects.
And I forgot to mention one thing too on the audit. So as Mr. Pruitt mentioned, we finished the year with a deficit of $200,000. And I don't know if you'll remember back, but kind of my last projections for the fiscal year 23, we were looking at a deficit of about $1.7 million. And so the main reason for that difference is, so we project our state revenue for the whole year, right? So fiscal year 24, the current year we're in, we'll say, this is how much state revenue we're going to earn. But the number of days in August we have to accrue in the prior fiscal year. And in fiscal year 24, with the state compression of school district tax rates, our state revenue is a lot higher than it normally is. So I generally don't really account for that because you take away last year's August accrual and add the next year, so it kind of washes out. But this year, since we had that big drastic difference, we had about $1 million more in our August accrual for state revenue in fiscal year 23. So it makes fiscal year 23 look a lot better. Bad news is fiscal year 24, we'll just have to back that out of it, and we actually won't have any August days because our new fiscal year is going to be July 1. So, but that's why it looked better than we kind of projected.
Those numbers.
Any questions?
Can you tell me a little bit more about this school bus, the 77 passenger school bus? I just, that price just kind of caught my attention.
That was around the 25,000.
400. Yeah,
416.
For 77 buses.
It's 77
And
seats.
passenger, is it one?
Oh, 77 passengers.
One bus for 77
Oh.
people. It's not 77.
I guess I read it for 77
That'd
buses.
be
No,
a
that's-
steal if we could get them.
So a bus averages what, about 100
So it must be a mistake.
135? So yeah, that's probably several buses.
Okay.
How many did, this was, we cut the check in November.
3 buses, okay, thank you. That makes a lot more sense. So bus prices have gone up since I last checked.
They have, yeah, not that much, but they have.
I don't debate the need for new buses, the figure just
Yeah.
seemed a little high.
Any other questions for Wesley? Very good. Thank you, sir. We're going to defer on campus security measures
Yes, sir.
briefly. Take up the consent agenda. We got minutes from 2 special called meetings and our November regular meeting, the early graduation request, our academic calendar, the budget amendments that Wesley visited with us about, the financial audit that Chris presented, acceptance of the grant funding for fall of '23, and then designate the alternate approver for TEA. Does any board member wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alford,
Second.
second by Mr. Witt. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Personnel. I didn't think so, just wanted to be sure. So we do need to go into closed session on our campus security measures.
I do have a personnel question. Is Letitia Maldonado working in 2 different spots, or is that a?
She was hired for 2 and is finalized in 1.
Okay,
So it was a crossover. She is at Midway.
okay. Cool.
Very good. So with that said, then we'll go into closed session at 7:48 under 551.074 and 551.076. And when we come back out, I anticipate we'll just adjourn.
Yes, sir.
So just FYI for folks that are here.